Hey guys, in this video we're going to practice a little bit our HTML and CSS skills. I make a design for this video, very simple design for a imaginary meditation app, and I can show you here. And what we try is to reproduce this design just with HTML and CSS and make it look nice, okay? Just to show you what we're going to work, and probably we're going to divide this in two videos. The first video we're going to make the structure of the landing page, the first part, the hero section, and then probably the next video we're going to create the about page, and then as well the comments and the comments, and as well some of the image that we have here. But let's start actually on we see, because the idea of this video is that we just practice. It's not planning video, it's not something that I have the code already and I'm planning how to do it and all this stuff. My idea is that I'm doing with you, with all my mistakes and with all the search that we need to do in Google, just to make sure that we do absolutely everything together and we're doing from scratch. Okay, so again, it's just for training. It's not something that is planning, and it's not these kind of videos that we just I have everything prepared before this. The idea of the training is that I encourage you that you try as well. Most of the time when you follow the tutorials and you copy the code from there, it's a good idea that just 10% of what you do in total means that 10% is going to be your tutorials, and then 90% is going to be projects like this, so you can practice and practice and practice. Okay, so as you can see here, we have very simple structure. We have the hero section, we have the header, and then we have some text with the buttons here, and then the image. Okay, so actually let's go to start, and step by step we're going to import the images and the assets that we needed, and we're going to import the styles from Figma. Okay, I make this design in Figma, so in Figma you can copy the styles, and you can as well if in some cases you need the code, you can grab it from here. So Figma is one of the best tools that you can use it for this kind of stuff and designing the UI. Well, there is many more tools that you can use it, okay, but it's a free, it's in the browser, and you can collaborate with many people. So for me, it's just the best. Okay, let's start with making our project. I'm just cd into my desktop as always. Okay, and here we can make a dir, and we say we can come up. Let's going to call it mind. Okay, we're going to call it mind our app. Let's going to say cd into, sorry if I have some grammatic problems, you know me, and you know that I'm dyslexic and not good in grammatic. Okay, we cd in our mind. Now is an empty directory, as you can see here. Let's going to make a directory, and it's going to be the CSS directory, and as well assets directory. Okay, then let's going to make our index file .html, which is going to be our base here. Actually, it's going to be just one single page here, a single landing page. And yeah, let's go to open with Visual Studio Code. In my case, I'm using a Visual Studio Code, but you can use everything that you prefer. Okay, it's going to make this a little bit bigger, so like this we have it apart, and we can start copy the style and the design passing to HTML and CSS. Okay, first of all, to make and create very simple structure, what you can do is the ampersand, and then ampersand exclamation mark, and then you just press tab, and that's going to create for you actually we don't need this one here. That's going to create for you very basic structure, and we're going to call our application mind, and we want to import our style, which is going to be in our, let's going to say CSS. Okay. Well, we don't have it yet, but we're going to create it in our CSS, a new file, and we're going to say .css. We're going to call it style.css. Okay. So now actually we don't need any more of this. We have our style, and we import our style in the HTML structure that we have here. Okay, let's go into planning a little bit our action, and let's go into planning the basic structure that we take here. My idea is that we make a hero section, and inside in the hero section we're going to place our header, and in the header and as well in the content area we're going to use a CSS grid combined with some flexbox to make our design responsible and working all together great. Okay, but you see how we're going to do this, or unless how I'm planning to do this. Okay, so let's go and start with creating our hero section actually, and actually that's going to be a section with a class of hero. I'm using camel case here, naming that's our section, and then inside we say that we have header with a class of header. Okay, inside in the header we have a logo, which for the moment is just going to be a div. Then we have a menu, which for the moment is going to be a div with the ULLI structure. ULLI structure that we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 items, and we have the button as well, which we can move it outside from this structure. But let's go to see actually how it's going to work this, because that's going to be a link. So what we can do is the ULLI, and then we can say as well a tag, and then that's going to be 3 times. Okay, that's going to make for us a structure. By default, a VS Code is coming with Emmet, so Emmet could make this kind of magics. It's making quite easy. Okay, let's go and say that for the moment we don't want that is sending us anywhere. Relax your mind is going to be the first link, the second link is going to be a blog, and the third link is going to be what is it, how to. Okay, how and then to. Okay, and what we say is that yeah, these links for the moment we don't want that they send us anywhere. Okay, and then inside in the menu, but outside of the UL, we're going to put our button, which is going to be button with the class of btn. Okay, there we go, and this is saying free try. Okay, free trial. Okay, that's going to be our button. Now let's go to continue with the structure outside of our header. Okay, we want our content, which is going to be let's go to say hero section, and that's going to be we're using a bank here. We say that's going to be actually, if we're going to use a pen methodology, let's go to make sure that we use it for the header as well. Actually, we're not using SAS. We're just going to use a plain CSS. Okay, but if you're using a SAS with a combination of pen methodology, it's amazing and it's easy to use, and the naming it's quite understandable. Okay, so we say hero section, and then we say header. It's going to save this. Now we have our header, we have our content, sorry, we have to create it, and inside in our content we have to create two boxes. One is going to be the left box with the text, then the right box with the image here. So we say content. Yeah, it could be content. Yeah, but content, hero section content, and content, I don't like the naming, so we say content box. Okay, and inside in the content box we're going to put the text plus the two buttons that you can the Google Play and Apple Store. Okay, so we say h1 with the class of title, because title sounds good, and that's the text that we're going to put here. Let me see what we can, oops, sorry. Okay, let me see. Now we have the h1 here. We need the buttons, so we say box. Okay, I'm not very good with the naming today, but that should work good for us. That's going to be a one link, which is not going anywhere for the moment, inside with the button. Actually, it's not with the button, it's going to be the icon that we're going to export from our Figma file, so we can say just the image. And then another one, very similar, well, same like this one, but that's going to be for the Apple Store. For the moment, we leave it like this, okay? Now we have the text, we have the buttons, we need the image in the right. So here we have a content box, and then we say image box. The image box, we have the image tag, and now we have to export the images from here. Let's going to start with our logo. Okay, so the logo, if we get it from here and we say we go in design, we go to say that's the SVG we want to export. Yeah, that's good. Export, and from here let's go to see it in the folder. Let's go to copy this one to the desktop, come up, and this one is going to be in our assets, and here we have it. Now we want the button one, which is the Google Play. Let's go to export as well this one, and then we want as well the Apple Store button. We export as well that one, and then we want this image, which I think that I'm going to cut a little bit because it is big and I don't like it like this. So let's go to export this one as a PNG and this one like SVGs. Okay, let's go to see in the folder here, which is going to be that, and this, and we just copy from here and we go back and paste it here. Like I said, let's go to make a small change of that one because I don't like it. I don't like that it's having so much margin, so much empty space. Okay, so let's go to cut like that, and I think that should be fine. Okay, so we just cut it and we overwrite the desktop. That should be fine. Close, discharge these changes. I'm using Ubuntu base Linux distribution, so that was GIMP. Okay, you can use any program when you want to do this kind of work. Okay, that's it. We have the assets here. Let's go to continue. Actually, let's go to close it here, and let's go to continue with our code. Logo, we need the logo first, so we say image img tag, and here we go in our assets folder, and which one is our logo. I think that this one is our logo, but we have to rename it because it doesn't look very cool. Yeah, now it's good. That's logo, and let's go to rename it here as well. Rename of logo. Okay, and something as well quite important is the alt tag, the logo you put there as logo. Okay, so the screen reader for the accessibility of your website, it's going to be checked. Okay, so we know that we are dealing with the logo image. Okay, then more assets that we can put here. This one is going to be our the first one is our Google Play, so there we go, Google Play. And then the second one, which again here you say play. Okay, remember that alt tag is important. It's there for something. Okay, that's when you want your site as the accessibility friendly and SEO friendly, make sure that you put the alt tag and you put a right description there. You just don't put like icon. Okay, put the name, put what we seeing exactly. Okay, let's go to say asset, and that's the apple. Yeah, the App Store. Yeah, okay, let's save it, and we have the image, which is that image here. So let's go to see this one. It's we call it how we call it. This one is the on tablet app on tablet image, and here we say in our assets, and then we say the desktop here. Okay, perfect. Yeah, let's go to have a look what we have so far done. Now I'm using a live server extension for VS Code, and you can use any extension you like, or you can install this extension if you're using a VS Code. So like this, we can preview the HTML that we're writing. We can preview it in the browser. Okay, now this doesn't look very nice because we don't have a CSS yet. Okay, so what we can do is let's start working around this. Okay, the plan here, let's go to make a little bit plan or planning. Is going to be that we know we want a container which is going to wrapping all this stuff, and this container is going to be let's say that we want 1,200 around, well, 1,160, 1,200. I think that should be perfect. Okay, so we want a container which is going to wrap everything. Then this one we going to make with the grid, and then that one we going to make probably with the grid as well, or display flex, but we see this in the process. Okay, let's go to continue with the structure. Now let's go to make first of all some basic styles. We want the everything, it's making some prefixes here, doesn't have any margin. We want the border size to be a border box, a box size to be a border box. Actually, we don't want a padding for nothing, like we just prefix the styles which coming from the browser by default. Then let's go to make some variables so we can use it for our colors. And the variables we going to declare in the root of our CSS object, and like this we can use it anywhere. So first of all we say primary color, and primary color in our case is going to be that one, which is There we go. So we can copy it from here and we can paste our primary color. Then we have the color of the button, which is going to be blue like that. We copy this blue and we say here secondary color. Okay, the secondary color, it's going to be that blue here. Actually, it's not secondary color, that's a helper color, but anyway, we just call it like this for the moment. Okay, let's save it here. Then what we want to do as well is actually, let's go to start with our container, like I said, and that's going to be a container which is going to have a max width of 1200 pixels, and as well it's going to have a margin auto, so like this we get it in the center. Okay, and then let's go to start styling first above our hero section here, which is going to be a hero section here. That's going to say that the hero section, what we want for the hero section, we want to be 100 of width, 100% of width. Then we want to be a mean height. We want the mean height, we want to be 100 viewport height, which is taking depend of your device the height, and that's going to be the minimum that we going to use it here. Means that can stretch if we have more elements inside. What we want more, obviously we want that the background color is going to be our primary color. And how we use the CSS variable, very easy, you just say, very similar than JavaScript, you say var and then parentheses here. Oh come on, we're going to put our primary color. Let's go and see what we have. We have our primary color that is looking beautiful actually. And then let's continue with this. Let's go to style our header. Our header, thinking that I'm wrapping everything. No, I'm not wrapping nothing. I just say I'm just saying container. That's going to make the 1200 here, and as well in our section, which is the hero section content, I'm saying container as well. How does it look like? It looks fine. It looks fine. Now let's go to style our header. Let's go to start from our header, and then we continue with the content here. So let's make this one small so we don't need any noise around there. Hero section content, and that's going to be, like we say, a grid. So we make a class which we call it grid, so we can use it in more places. So like this, we don't repeat ourselves. Obviously we're not using comma, we're using dot here. Okay, and that's going to be display grid. Okay, display grid. Now this one is display grid, and let's go to say in our section header here, which it's going to be down there. Let's go to say that the grid template column is going to be 3 columns, which we can say repeat, and we can say we want to repeat 3 times 1 fragment. Okay, so that's going to be equal 3 parts of this. Okay, and then each of these depend of the view, well, depend is if it's in the desktop or in the mobile, we're going to give it different parts of these 3 columns. Okay, which you see now there's going to be 4, because now you see when we're going to make it what I mean by that. Obviously here we want that that's going to be 1, and that's going to be the rest. Here we want to be a three of these, and then here we see how we can align this one. Actually, we have a tablet as well design, which the tablet design is going to be similar than the desktop. So let's go and see how we can do this. Let's save this one. As you can see here, the three column, how they working without this stuff. Let's go to make some padding. I don't know. We make a helper class here with, I don't know why I'm continue using a dash, and we say p2, which is going to be equal to padding 20. Okay, let's going to put this one in our header, so like this we can separate a little bit of stuff here. So we say p2, we save it, and then let's go to see. Okay, we have that one, we have that one. Let's go to see that it makes something, because it's hurting my eyes, the blue color and the lines on the line here. So what we can say here, li, we say text decoration, no, actually list style, it's going to be none. Okay, then none, and then we go in the and that's going to be, first of all, let's remove this ugly blue color. So we say color is going to be for the moment black, and the text decoration, text decoration, it's going to be none. Yeah, we don't want a text decoration actually. None, I say none. Okay, there we go. And let's go to make some space between this one. Let's go to see how we have organized it here. Menu. So if we get here, we say and then select off UL, and then select off LI, and then we say margin. Actually, let's go deeper. Let's go and say A, and we say here margin of 10. Actually, I can make a helper class which is going to be a margin of 10, and then put in all of the A's, but for the moment they don't have class, so I prefer to do manually like this. Okay, okay, let's go to continue. So a grid, a CSS grid that we want to put here, because this doesn't look very good for the moment. We say that's one of our item, that's another of our items. So let's go and say logo. Okay, I lost one of the O's, and then here we say, let's go and say under here we say logo, it's a grid column of 1 of 3. Okay, which is going to be 1 of 3. That looks fine. Let's go to make it visual. So we say border, and we say border, it's going to be 1 pixel, solid, I don't know, red, for example, a beautiful red color. So that's look like this, and then it's not, well, let's go to make then the other item, which is going to be obviously that's not correct, because if you can see it from 1 to 3, it's not the idea. The idea is that from 1 to 2, and it's getting like this, and that's the menu is getting more bigger. Okay, so in the same way like this, we can duplicate it, and the other one was, well, obviously is a menu. So we say menu, and then we want it from, and here's the tricky part, to get into 4, one more, so as well, red. So you see that it's looking quite fine. Now this one we want it in the center. I'm going to make a helper class which we're going to call a center. Probably we're going to use it for in more places. Center, and then we say display flex, justify content center, and yes, you can use flex with a combination of grid, so don't freak out. And then justify content center, align items center as well. Okay, so that's going to make our element centering everything in the middle, which in our case we want to be centering in our logo. Yeah, that's look fine. Now we want to figure it out how this is going to looks like. So actually, if we say the flex, because we're going to use it flex in more time and more places, and we don't want to repeat ourselves. So what we can say is that we just remove this one from here, and here, oops, sorry, here we say the dot dash flex, and here it's going to be the display flex. Okay, why? Because in our menu, obviously, we're going to put as well a display flex. Okay, how this looks like. For the moment, this looks good. And then in our menu, let's go to make some more styles. Like here, for example, we say align item center, and that's going to center in the high part of the it's going to centering. You see where is centering everything. Now I want to move it in the right, so what we can say is that justify content, not center, it's flex end probably. Yeah, flex end. Let's go to give it padding. I don't know that we go to give in the menu, or we going to give in our, actually I want in the menu. I want in the menu, so let's go to do it directly here. No, let's see how it's look with our P2 class, because we made it for this. It's look fine. It's look fine. Now let's go to style a little bit the button, and then let's go to put the textiles. Okay, the button, we have this color that we call it secondary, I guess, and it's the font inside it is let me see, Roboto 18 pixels. Perfect. Let's go to start with the button. Here we have the button class. So if we go down there and we say btn, and in the btn we say border, that we actually don't want border, so we just say 0 pixels, and we say padding of 12 plus 20, for example, 20 pixels. Okay, how this looks like, let's go and see here. That's look fine. And then yeah, the background color, which is going to be our, if we're using the var, and it's going to be our secondary or secondary color, right? Let's go see how this looks like. And then obviously we want to be the color of FFF. We just want a white color here, FFF, and as well we want some border radius, which is going to be let's go see actually how many pixels it is. That's going to be 4 pixels, and then we say 4 pixel. Yeah, that's look fine for the moment. Let's go to say that we want the Roboto to be the main color of the body. And then obviously we have to export the Roboto from Google Fonts. We say, let's go to grab it from Google Fonts. let's going to grab the both. This one, let's call it Nonito. Oh, Nonito, I don't know how you spell it. This one here, we want a light, which is a 300, select this style, and then we want a normal, which is the regular. Yeah, let's go. Then let's go to select more styles. The other one, we say there is Nonito. Okay, this one here, I think that we're using a semi-bold. There we go, semi-bold. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select a semi-bold, and then we're going to select the regular, but in the end make sure that if you're not using it, just delete it from what you're importing, because that's going to affect the charging of your page. There we go, we just copy this one and going to put before your style, just save it, and then that's the font that we're going to use by default, so I'm putting in the body. There we go, let's go and see. Yep, that's look fine. Okay, for the moment let's go to leave it as it is, and then we're coming back for some details. Probably we don't want this ugly red color anymore, so we can remove it from here, save it, and let's go to style a little bit this part here. What we say that we want 2 columns from here, so this one is going to be the left one, that's one's going to be the right one, and I'm thinking that we're going with the display flex, and we go with let's go with grid, because we make the header with the grid, so let's continue with the grid. Hero section, we have the header, and then we have content, so let's go to minimize the header. We have the hero here content, which we can call it as well a grid. Okay, it's going to be a grid for us, and then inside we have one element and then the other element. So the first element is going to take the half, and then okay, let's go to do like this. In our style we go down there, we say hero, we know there is a grid, so now we have to say how much columns we want. Obviously we want just 2, so what we say is a grid template column. We want to make it 2 columns here, and here you have the options to make it with a repeat and then with the auto file, but we just make it simple. What we make it just 1 fr and then 1 fr, which is going to make a 2 equal frs here. You see it? Yes, you see it. Now let's go to style a little bit. Let's go to give it a padding top of, I don't know, let's go to see how 100 pixels are looking. For the moment they look fine, and let's style the left part here, which our left part, it is it's the content box. Okay, the content box doesn't look very fine, so what we can do is we can make a padding first, the bow, and then let's say a padding of, actually we're not doing a padding of 20 because we already have our class. So let's go to see what our class is going to do. Okay, we need the light map here. So how about if I say text align right? Okay, that's going to align everything in the right. It's exactly what we want, and this one doesn't look very fine. So what we can do is the image box, it's going to have display flex, which display flex we have like a class already, and then center. Let's see that it's going to work for our Yeah, I'm not putting in the correct place exactly for this. You don't see any different. It's just here. Yep, now it's going to working. Actually, we don't want to be in the center, so what we can do is that we remove the center, and then we say let me see, what was the name here? We copy this one. In the end of the video, not of this video, because I'm not going to finish everything in one video, but in the end of well, the 2 or 3 videos that's going to be, we're going to optimize a little bit the classes. Okay, we're going to remove repeating stuff from here. So we have display flex already. We say align item center, which is going to be the stuff that they repeating, so we can remove it. And then justify content flex end, we say. Okay, and there we are. Now this one is we have to change the style of this. Let's go to see what's the style is. Let's go to call it, or we call it already, title. So let's go to style our title, and I'm going to put before all this stuff so we can use it for different kind of purposes, like under the logo. And here we say that the fonts family, the font family is that one. The font family of our title is this one. Then we have the font width, which it's semi-bold. Semi-bold, what's the semi-bold means? 500 or 600? It is a 600. Okay, 600. Let's see how this looks like. This looks fine, and obviously the size, it's have to pump up 42 pixels. So what we can say is that font size, it's going to be 42 for the moment. Let's see how this looks, and then probably we can do stuff like this one. Text to relax, time to relax, we can put a BR tag here. And then make your mind, we say make your mind, sorry, make your mind more strong. Okay, make your mind, and here we say BR as well. How this look like? Yep, this looks like it's supposed to look. It's a little bit blackish. Let's go and see what we can change. Well, the color is just black. It is a regular. It's not semi-bold. Okay. So we just remove this one. Yeah, we don't need it. If the design say there is a regular, we just leave it as it is. And yeah, that's look fine for the moment. Probably we need a little bit of padding. Button box, no content. Yeah, let's go and say the padding top is going to be a 40. I don't know, we just try something. Probably it's good idea if we make it I don't know, 80. Yeah, that's look fine. Okay, so in the next video, which is coming probably soon, we're going to make this hero section responsive. Okay, we're going to make it responsive. You see that it's very easy, and from there we continue with the about section. Okay, you see that the responsive is not getting us so much time, because exactly for this we're using CSS Grid. Okay guys, thank you so much. As I said, that's a good stuff that you can practice, and you can do it by your own. Make some design and then practice your HTML and CSS stuff. And if you are new to the front end, well, that's a good way that you can learn. Okay guys, I appreciate that if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. So like this, I know that you like this kind of videos, so I can continue doing a similar video than this one. And if you found in my channel video that they are helpful for you, well, consider to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate a lot all of you. Okay, well, see you in the next video. Bye!